Okay, everybody, track bar is done. Not easy though. So nothing's easy. So if I ever get one of these with two track bars broken, I'll be like, oh great. But it's repaired. It did came out really nice. It's strong. Um, One day I'll probably just look for some kind of repair kit. It'd probably be faster, but a little more expensive. But so I was gonna do this video without my hearing aids in, and then I'm like, I sound funny, and then I guess I do sound a little funny. Then I put my hearing aids in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really deaf, bad, really bad. It's not even like can't hear, can't hear at all. So I'm gonna show you, I'm just bring you up, and then I'll show you what I did. It's really hard to see what I did. So I painted the whole area up a little bit. So I'm gonna point, here is one of the welds on this side. I don't know, you can't even see where I welded. So I welded on this bracket here, and then this bracket on the other side. That holds the track bar in, and then you bolt it on a nut straight through the frame. And I showed you the trick with the bolt. You run a little stuff on there. And then in the back half, I welded on the back half here, the bracket, and then I welded on the inside of this bracket too. I added about 4 or 5 inches, maybe 4 inches of steel in there to reinforce the original bracket. So the original bracket's nice and strong, and what I did is I painted the whole area up. I don't know if you could see from the back side. It's hard to see. It's really hard to see. But if you can see a glance in there, that's where she's at, and that's how she's welded in, if you need to glance it. And then see that wire run there? Look at it, it runs right on top of the exhaust. I mean, that's what happened. That's the ABS sensor wire. So we're gonna have to disconnect that. That's part of the harness too. Oh boy. That's gonna be a fun one to get out. I think that should not even run this way. That should run straight up and then down. You know what? That's why the ABS sensor. Let me bring it down. That's why I know that ABS sensor is a problem, because it's basically sitting on top of the exhaust. That's stupid. That was really dumb how they did that. Obviously, it's gonna burn out again. It's too close. It should be ran up the transmission. Oh, I bet you know when they did the transmission. Yeah, I bet you that's what happened. So I'm going to strap it up again. 2 more zip ties. It ain't gonna matter. It's no good, but I don't need more damage to the computer or this wiring. That's like the part of the main wire. Well, that's gonna be fun. ABSs are always, it's always hard to do, but remember, it affects that transmission. So, and this someone put a new tranny in here. So they put a new tranny in, or a rebuilt tranny at one time in his life not that long ago. But here was the cause. Or maybe they put this in, and then they caused an ABS problem. So you gotta really watch when you do these wires. So let me not forget that that's a track bar. I only repainted the area I'm working on. So if anybody wants to check the work, I'll be like, yeah, I repaired that. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's done, it's a repair. So when you're all done with this thing, pressure wash the whole bottom half of this thing. Pressure wash it off on a lift. It's the only way to do it. You can't really get underneath without it, so you're gonna take one heck of a bath. Pressure wash everything, and then just, have like a 2-stage paint where it'll paint and prime at the same time, and maybe like it'll chemically bond. There's a couple paints that if you get this, I mean, it looks really bad, but it's not. I've seen a lot worse than this. And when there's holes through everything, you're like, oh boy, then you're in trouble. But this is not so bad. I've seen a way worse than this. This is good for a 2000. It's scaly, It's you're out there in the snow and everything, and it gets like that. So just blow it all off the scales with a pressure washer, full suit too, and then just paint the whole bottom half, and that's it. And you spray it in one day, prep it, probably take a day or two. Prepping is the hard part. Prepping is, you gotta prep it, then you gotta let it dry. You need a lift to do this though. So those 2 sensors done on this one, The muffler's done on this one. The tune-up parts, I replaced the whole assembly, the coil pack assembly, and the spark plugs. That solved the running problem, and then now this will solve the transmission slight. Doesn't shift bad, but you can't have an ABS going on. You're gonna have problems, and the ABS is not gonna work. So if you try to lock the brakes up, it's not gonna lock up. It's not gonna work. It goes into a, basically what it does, it'll go into a it won't work. Just like when an airbag goes on light, that means the airbag system doesn't work. It's not going to create if the airbag won't go off. That you don't want that in the ABS. When ABS problem light is on, the ABS won't work. So when you slam on the brakes, the ABS is not going to work. It's not going to pulsate to to a stop. It's just going to lock up. You don't want that. I mean, you can be careful, but just fix it the right way. It's just one sensor probably. Repair the harness and sensor. Let me wire that up before I forget one more time, but that's it. That's it for the track bars. That's all you need to do. A couple things and some paint. And now it's preserved a little bit temporarily until I paint the whole thing. When you pressure wash, it'll blow all that paint right off. I mean, that's not quality paint. That's just a spray bomb. So it just, you weld something, paint something back on it. That is a primer and a paint. Primer first, and then I painted it. So it'll adhere for a while. And especially if you start garage kepting these things, once those get to a stage, you really should garage kept this thing, keep it. If they were always garage kept, I'll tell you, it lasts a lot longer. Cars, when you buy a car, when it's garage kept, you got a good car. So just remember that, keep on watching. We're gonna work on the ABS tomorrow. See you, everybody.